yesterday I was on Misery Loves Company, and that was exciting. I got to hang out with Shuli and Kevin Brennan, and we talked about Chad Zumick a little bit. But they also asked me about Shuli, which I assumed would happen because I know Kevin Brennan has a thing with Shuli lately, and I put out a video kind of breaking that down. So Shuli goes on the BS show this morning. So it's Shuli and Bob Levy and Mike Morse, and Shuli's not happy about something that I said on Misery Loves Company yesterday. And this is like right at the beginning of the episode, he addresses this.
So yeah, I'm getting messages yesterday from people that our buddy Carl was on with Brennan. I almost said our buddy Brennan, but more your buddy. And Carl's upset with us. Which I'm like, what is Carl upset about? We literally just texted a couple days ago. Yeah. But, what is he upset about? But apparently he's not, excuse me, he's not happy that, he's not happy with the guests we book on Rico.
Really? Shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, we should change then.
Is he talking about Mike?
I'm in agreement. You know what? You're right. I didn't ask. I'm actually in agreement with that.
I can't disagree either.
Okay. So already out the gate, that doesn't sound like something I would have a problem with, right? What guests they have on Uncle Rico.
What's he talking about?
All right. So we're going to find out here. He's going to go more into this and explain specifically what I said when they asked me about Shuli on Misery Loves Company.
If you don't like it, don't listen. He's upset that Tom Myers was on. Tom Myers was like our third guest ever on this fucking show.
Yeah, that was way back.
Way back. And was on one time. I got no problem with Tom. I know Carl's been ripping on him for a while, but really, that upsets you that we have him on?
All right, so Shuli's going, Carl, I know you don't like Tom Myers, but this is upsetting to you that we had Tom Myers on months ago? All right, let's watch the clip. Let's watch me on Misery Loves Company, and you tell me what's going on here if you understand what I was trying to do.
And also, while we're on the subject of different things, what's your take on Shuli stealing your show idea?
All right. So Shuli called me before he started the Uncle Rico show. We had a conversation about it. I was obviously fine with it. At that time, there was more than enough Stuttering John to go around. He was doing 4 shows a week, and I was covering about a half of one episode, which is about all I could handle at that time. So it was no problem at all. My biggest problem was Shuli, and Bob, you could tell him this if he's not listening.
Okay.
I don't like that he treats whack packers like they're comedians. I don't like that he brings on Tom Myers or Chad Zumock and just like has them hang out on the show. Like, hey, you're on the show as a guest. Like, no, these are the people that you point and laugh at. That's not someone that you want on the panel.
Tom.
All right. So here was my point. I don't give a fuck who Shuli has on his show. I was trying to say that Chad Zumock is as bad a comedian as Tom Myers. Now, it turns out that wasn't an exaggeration in anyone's mind, so no one got the joke. That does not look good for Chad Zumock. The fact that I'm like, yeah, it's whack packers out there like Tom Myers or Chad Zumock. That was the joke. But everyone was just like, yeah, no, I know. Those guys both suck at comedy and are whack packers. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, what's your point?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I was literally swing and a miss. I'm like, my bad. I thought you guys had some respect for Chad Zumock. That's why he's been on both of your guys' shows.
They made no distinction there.
Yeah, I'm just like, holy shit, wow. Yeah. And then Shuli takes it as I'm complaining about his show. I'm like, no, I was making fun of Chad. Yeah. It's my thing.
Stop treating him with dignity.
I know. So I'm just like, wow.
Or get him on and mute his mic.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, that is good.
So I'm like, okay, I guess he didn't get that, but all right. I mean, Shuli's not really upset. It's fine. Yeah. But then he goes off. Now, you just heard what I said there when they asked about Shuli.
Sure.
Stealing my stuff. And I go, I don't care about it. Right. We had a conversation. Shuli was actually very polite about it. He came to me early and often, told me what he wanted to do, and I gave him advice and things that I've gone through, and I was totally fine with it. Obviously, Shuli and I have worked together. I've been on his show. He's been on my show. Yeah. We did a live show together.
You did a musical number together.
We did a musical number at the Dabby Awards. I mean, come on. What are we talking about here? So
you gave him the Cellmates passcode.
Yes. I let him get his penis out on November 1st. Did all those things that best buds
You're
do.
the key master. All right.
Yeah. So then we start off this
The
thing
lock keeper.
with Shuli talking about me complaining about him stealing content. Or
And the whole
formats.
thing with like Shuli stole from someone else who stole. How about that? I love these people. I used to work for the fucking biggest thief in Vegas. This Israeli guy owns a souvenir liquor store. Would rip customers off the second he got a chance. And guess what? He used to tell me every day, he goes, watch everyone. Everyone is a thief. Yeah, no shit, because you're a thief. That's why they're all here.
And listen, you're the only one with an actual agenda of why you should be watching John videos and commenting.
And I like to think we do it a little differently, whereas
Yeah, good.
Whoa! Hold on a second. You just saw the clip I played where I was like, yeah, I don't give a shit that they do that. I've never complained about that. That's fine. I told Shuli to go ahead and do it. So Shuli's going on here, and by the way, he texted me. Someone told me this happened. Someone gave me a heads up, like, by the way, Shuli's pissed at you. He talked about it. And then I got a text from Shuli before I even said anything, like, hey, man, I'm sorry. I'm quitting smoking. I'm going through a whole thing. And honestly, everything Shuli said on the show, I'm like, okay. But then fucking Mike Morse lays into me and explains that they're the only show that's funny. Where the fuck is this coming from, Mike? I'm the only person who ever named Mike Morris on any show ever. Everyone else just calls him the other guy or doesn't mention him at all. Even Chad Zumock would always be like, yeah, I'm on Bob and Shuli's show. Never once bringing up fucking Mike's name. I've had Mike on this show. I've been very complimentary to this guy. And now this fucking guy is coming on this show and going, yeah, this fucking guy sucks. Mike, you don't even know what you're talking about. I didn't even say that. It's one thing if you have a problem with me, but know what the fuck you're talking about if you're going to have a fucking problem with me. Where did that come from?
It's also a silly thing to think you can steal someone's lolcow. They belong to the community. Everybody
That's
who
true.
makes fun of them.
100%, which is
It's not
why
a trademark.
correct. Which is why Kaya, I would never tell someone they can't goof on Opie or Patrick Michael or Stuttering John. It's like, yeah, and if you can do it better than me, great. That's fine. I would never have a problem with that. But they're going to call me out here and explain that they do it way better than me.
And we watch something. By the way, we're not pulling clips all week. We're watching it on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
And all we're trying to do is be funny with it. And on our worst episode, it's funnier than anything you can pull and plan and get ready to do. So I'm sorry if you feel like we stole Jocktober from the guys who stole Jocktober from Owen. Why can't everybody just fucking live and eat and just fucking survive? Right. Why you gotta get your pussy hurt?
The fuck are you talking about, Shuli? He's saying that their worst show is better than my best show? That's a weird thing to say. They've had some clunkers. I've been on them.
I feel like the thief comments kind of are getting to him. Because I've seen those comments on like the...
yeah, it's constant.
What the fuck was it? The Stutterers Anonymous? Dabblers Anonymous.
Dabblers Anonymous, yeah.
I haven't looked at it in a while, but I definitely have seen those comments. They were turning on Shuli a month or two ago.
Right. Well, it's just insane to me that he's going on here now, totally unprovoked. I'll play everything that he's complaining about. I have more things that I said that we'll talk about. But totally unprovoked, he's going on and saying that we don't do a good job because we prep too much. What this asshole Carl, what he's doing is he's watching the entire episode, pulling clips, understanding the context, explaining it, goofing at it. What an idiot.
Listen, I'm just starting to prep, and you guys are telling me it's not a good thing?
Yeah, I know.
What
Prepping is
fuck?
gay.
I don't know what to believe anymore.
We're fucking idiots. Fucking idiot. Prepping his show like
he's a fucking idiot.
piazza. All right. So then Shuli, I don't know where he's getting this from his head that I'm calling out his show and saying it's not funny. I've never said that. And so now he's going to explain to me how much better his show is than ours.
I got news for you. If Uncle Rico sucked and we had no viewers and no subscribers, you think he'd have a problem with us stealing his show? No. So I'm sorry it's successful is what you really want to hear, I guess.
I'm sorry we're doing the Uncle Carl show now. I'm sorry.
So add tier 4, Uncle Carl. We're going to deep dive into...
At least Bob's being funny. But Shuli saying, I'm sorry we're successful Like, I'm upset. Shuli, I'm the one guy who went on with Radio Gunk and said, Mo, what the fuck's your problem with Shuli? I stand up for you all the time. I defended more people than you even know. Well, a lot of people don't like you, Shuli, and I always say nice things about you, and I always stick up for you. And the fact that you're going on there and going, oh, they're just jealous of our success. I also do better numbers than you on YouTube, but what the fuck, man? Where is all of this coming from? I feel like this guy's trying to either manufacture and argue it with me.
Yeah, it does
feel... But then he tried to get ahead of it, too.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Kai, is someone doing dishes at your house?
It's making me hungry. Is dinner ready?
Yeah. It's a lot of dishes.
Sorry.
How big is your family? There's a lot of dishes to be washed up.
How much John is there even to go around right now? I mean, at the height of the Rico show and yours, there was a lot, but now it's kind of dried up. And I guess people are fighting for the morsels, but it's still not a trademarked thing.
No one's fighting.
If John uploads
I don't
it to
know where
the
any of this is
internet.
coming from. Kaya, all of a sudden, Shuli's out here going, Carl's jealous of our success and he can't do as good a job as us and we're fucking great. And I have no idea where any of this is coming from. And I think he's losing the plot.
Right.
And fucking Mike Morse is agreeing with him. Oh, yeah, I know Carl's a fucking idiot. Am I, Mike?
I think Mike's the Chad on this show.
He has no idea what's going on. He can't keep his mouth shut. Mike, if you don't know what's going on, shut the fuck up. Whatever Shuli's telling you is totally incorrect, which I'm going to continue to prove here. So, it's so fucking annoying. Anyway, so then they have a chatter come on, Alexandria, who explains to her, because she watched MLC, she explains to Shuli, I spent barely a minute talking about Shuli on Misery Loves Company, and he's going on and on about this.
Carl barely spent the minute. My point is this. Carl has my number. We've talked many times. We've done business together. Yeah. He sits there and, smiles in my face and then goes and, like, if I got a problem with Carl, I texted him last week.
Okay.
I don't know.
Why not text you this time?
Well, no, he did. The point is that I didn't go on and trash Shuli.
Right.
I literally went on and said, I don't have a problem with Shuli. The Uncle Rico show is great, which I did actually say that. And Tiger Lily reminds Shuli that that's what happened too.
Tiger Lily said Uncle Rico show was the best at it. He didn't say anything bad at all. Listen, he
Let me go back to that because he didn't read that correctly.
Yeah, would you?
She wrote, stop it, stop sign. Carl said Uncle Rico show was the best at it. He didn't say anything bad at all. Thank you, because even the people watching Shuli who are Shuli fans are going, where is this coming from?
Slow news week.
What are you talking
Patrick
about?
Michaeling you. He didn't watch it.
Yeah, I hear it from an older podcaster.
Yep, that's what it seems like.
didn't say anything bad at all. Listen, I heard the clip. He said, what he said was, he quoted Chad talking about the Uncle Rico show. And Chad said, I think Uncle Rico show is the best Stuttering John show because it's hosted by 3 comedians who know John. He quoted Chad. So, he's listen, it's all good, man. I don't hate Carl. I love Carl. I love that he got me out of the shell to finally fight back against John.
You hear that, Mike? Oh, yeah,
Are you just going to take that, Carl?
We like I forgot. We like Carl.
What do you think he means by that?
All right. So I think Shuli was all ready to lay into me, and then even the chat's going, what are you talking about?
Yeah, whoops.
So then he did a 180, and I'll play you specifically what I said about Uncle Rico. I even interrupted to get this out. Oh, also, I do want to point this out, Kevin, since you asked. I think that Uncle Rico is the better Stuttering John show because 2 reasons. They're actual comedians, and they knew Stuttering John. Okay, so yes, that was goofing on Chad again, because that's what Chad used to say over and over, because he's a repetitive motherfucker, that guy. But how could you hear me say that? And I never said anything else. I didn't be like, I'm just kidding, that's what Chad says. I never said anything else. How could you hear that and be like, Carl thinks that he's better than us? I literally said the opposite. Even if you know that that's the thing that Chad said, I never once said, no, that's just a Chad thing. We're actually really good at it. Like, that's all I said was, I don't have a problem with Shuli doing this, and they're great at it. It's literally what I said on Misery Loves Company. How did I start this feud? I'm wildly confused. Someone's wildly confused, not me. All right, so
a little
then
self-conscious.
So then the other thing that Shuli is upset with me about, and I mentioned this when I did the show last week, I go, Shuli's probably going to text me because I said this. And he did. He texted me on Saturday when we were in Philly at the live show. And so this is him complaining about that.
He goes on his show and starts talking about how I take 50% of the super chat money from people who have shows on here.
No.
And that's just not the case. But instead of just reaching out to me and saying, hey, what's the deal with this? Is this accurate? And he didn't. So I took it upon myself to text him and go, hey, man, just so you know, here's what I take. 20% out of the 70% that the creator gets, I take 20. That's it. If they have a Patreon, I don't touch it. If they have sponsors, I don't touch it.
Okay, so he texted me that, and I was like, okay, my bad. I'll get the truth out, which I just did. I wanted to make sure everyone knew that, because this is what Kevin Brennan was saying, was that Shuli takes 50% of the super chats for anyone on the Shuli network. And so Shuli texted me. He was like, hey, I want to clarify this, which I predicted he would. I said he probably would, and I'm glad he did. I'm glad he corrected me on it. But he's acting like he's all upset with me, and I'm not checking in with him first, and I'm talking shit. Let's watch how this actually went down. This was my comment when we were talking about the business model on here.
Seems like Shuli is looking to sign Chad to the Shuli network. That's fine. God bless. God fucking bless. And you know what? I'll still pay Chad more than Shuli does. That's just a fact. Because he's not going to pay them anything. He's going to give them. I think the deal is after Google takes 30%, they split the super chats with the Shuli network. So after 30%, they get half of 70%. So I pay guaranteed money.
So now with this controversy that Chad's going to the Shuli network, which who knows, I doubt it, but maybe it is interesting to hear the business model there. And I don't know if this is true or not. I've never been in negotiations with the Shuli network. What? What did I just say? I don't know if that's true or not, what Kevin just said. Sounds like I don't know if it's true or not. And I'm just speaking off the cuff. What am I supposed to fucking stop what I'm doing? Let me text Shuli. Hopefully he'll get back to me before I have to finish recording. And then I'll let you know if it's true or not. Like that's why I say things. That's why I do that, to say like, I don't know. That's what he's saying. Yeah. But it sounds like what's happening here is that Shuli is taking half of the money that you make from super chats when you're on the Shuli network. And when you're on the Shuli network, it's just like being on your own channel on YouTube, except for it says Shuli network underneath. So in some ways, it's kind of worse. I don't know. What do I know? I could be totally wrong about this. I'm probably going to text from Shuli as soon as this comes out, telling me I'm totally wrong about this. But this is what Kevin is saying. I'm commenting on what Kevin is saying, Shuli. I said twice I don't know what I'm talking about, and I could very well be wrong. So yes, I should have, while I was doing my prep, you don't do preps, you don't know this. While I'm doing my prep and I'm coming up with all these clips that I pull myself and getting ready to present what I'm going to present, I got to be there and sit there and going, okay, let me fact check this. Let me check with producer Chris and see, does he get up at 6:30? Because that's a funny joke. Let's see if he does or not. I got to fucking check with all my friends, and then I'm going to get fucking people yelling at me like Trucker Andy's calling me up. Why the fuck did you say I suck at being a trucker? I'm like, it's a joke. I don't know. Sorry. My bad.
Please, I'm sick of the text. Jesus.
Anyway, after all of that, Shuli went on to say that he loves the show, and he said a lot of nice things about the show. So thank you, Shuli. I appreciate it. It just out of nowhere, and for fucking Mike Morse to jump on like that, I was like, what? Nothing but nice to Mike the entire time.
Yeah, that's the final insult there, man.
So fucking weird. I don't know where that's coming from. Maybe he's just trying to be interesting for once. I don't know. How do I be more interesting? I don't say nonsense about our friends. Call our friends out. Okay, yeah, well, that might work.
Why worked.
Not? It did. It actually did work.
Yeah.
Good job. And then I just have this clip, and so Chad put out something just the other day, and I have a guy who watches Chad and sends me stuff, my buddy John Marlowe, and I appreciate all that he does for me. Listen to this business strategy, this model that Chad has for paying customers. And now, Kaya, Do you guys have subscribers on YouTube?
No, on Patreon though.
You just have Patreon. Do you have any other paywalled like platforms you work with?
No.
Okay.
No, just Patreon.
So
four-way split.
I have Patreon and we have Supercast. In the Creep Off, we have Patreon, Supercast, and Backed By. We might at some point use YouTube as a subscription model as well. But the way that we do it for this show and for the Creep Off is if you subscribe, whatever platform it is, you get all of the bonus content. Right? Isn't that how it usually works? All right, well, let's see what Chad's going to do.
Yeah, the show will be up on Patreon. This is what I'm gonna do with Patreon and memberships. Each episode will either go up on memberships or on Patreons. It'll go back and forth. So today's will go up on Patreon. Tomorrow's will go up on memberships. Because I got to keep both sides. I got to keep playing both sides. You know what I'm saying? I got to make everybody happy. Yo, Richard G's in the house. I haven't seen him.
All right.
What?
Yeah. So I think basically what he's trying to do here. I think he only has a few paying customers. So he's trying to get anyone who's paying to give him money on both platforms. Because otherwise it doesn't make any fucking sense.
You're supposed to upload the same thing to both platforms. The only reason all of those alternatives like Supercast popped up is because people were like, I don't want to give Patreon my money. Fuck them.
Right, because Patreon we're banning people and not having free speech. Yeah. That's why I got with Supercast, because people were like, I won't give Patreon money. I'm like, okay, here's an alternative. And of course now we get Backed By.
Basically just acts as a mirror, though.
Correct.
That's it.
I actually have it set up so that anything I put on Patreon automatically goes to Supercast. Like the two feeds should be identical. Right. And this asshole's going, all right, guys, I'm going to do half the shows for people who give me $5 here, half the shows people who give me $5 here. It's like, just give everyone who gives you $5 all the shows. What are you doing? It's a dick move. He's always looking for some way to grift a little bit.
Yeah, and it sounds like more work for a lazy man.
Right. Yeah, he gives himself problems.
Can you imagine if like Better Call Saul sold half of its episodes to Netflix and the other half to like Amazon Prime?
So everybody's pissed.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. Yeah, it's like I've been watching this show on Netflix, but I can't watch the next one. No, that's not there. I got to keep everyone happy. We can't have all the episodes on Netflix. Not everyone has Netflix. Okay.
Let me binge this episode 1357. Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Who are these podcasts? WATP.